2, however you want to call me, I don't really care. And today we are back in World of Tanks playing some Frontline, and we're playing the Skorpion G, one of the most overpowered tank destroyers in the game, and actually one of the most overpowered premium tier 8 vehicles in the game. And the reason why we're playing Frontline is because, first of all, it's fun. Second of all, it's only going to be around until the 6th or 4th of June, I think. And I haven't really gotten to level 30 yet, so I haven't gotten the full rewards, and I still want to get some more credits also, because you can really farm credits with these tanks. This is basically the best mode where you can play your tier 8 tanks without having to interfere with any tier 9s and tier 10s, and you're able to do the most potential damage in those vehicles against other tier 8 vehicles. And that's the reason why a lot of people are enjoying Frontlines, and they're always waiting for Frontlines to come back online so that they don't have to play their tier 8s in standard battles against some tier 10s. So it's a great place to actually farm and grind your credits, experience. It's still a rather new game mode, so it hasn't gotten that stale as other game modes have gotten, and I think people are just enjoying it as we have been for the last couple of weeks. Very nice game mode. I still enjoy it. I really hope that they maybe extend the period, because I didn't really have that much time to play Frontline, basically because of the time zone difference. And because I had to do a lot of stuff for university, so yeah, I did have a lot of stuff on my plate. So we get a nice shot into the Lorraine 40-ton. Next one goes into the Löwe, and you can just see this thing at this tier with this gun is just, with this rate of fire, with this gun and this pen, the mobility, that's just absolutely devastating, the Skorpion G. Even in tier 10s, tier 9s, this is an absolute powerhouse of a tank, since you don't really survive a lot of incoming fire. But, you know, if you're top tier and you can play against tier 8 tanks that are on the same level as you are, well, you better dress accordingly, because this thing is just gonna make the round very uncomfortable for you. And basically that is saying a lot. This is one of the rather unbalanced tier 8 heavy tank destroyers, or tier 8 premium tanks, but still, I mean, a lot of people have bought it. I absolutely adore this tank. I don't think they'll ever take it out of the game. Obviously they can't do that since people have bought it. And yeah, so while we're playing Frontlines, this is all currently live action commentary gameplay. Let's talk about some things that have been bothering World of Tanks players for quite a while, and I haven't actually seen the depth of anger in this community in a long time. Because I thought the changes of preferential matchmaking to these preferential matchmaking tanks was not going to be that big of a deal. Because when I was playing my KV5 and I was playing some of the other preferential matchmaking tanks, I never really thought people would get that upset about preferential matchmaking. But I do certainly understand the viewpoint that people have brought and that people have talked about, because obviously taking something away that you paid real money for is not really a good business model, and that's just something Wargaming haven't really been very good at. Their business model has been a bit sketchy, or I think sketchy is like a nice way to put it. Wargaming's business models have been very, very controversial, selling tanks that they pretended to never sell again, you know, getting out bundles and preferential matchmaking tanks. you know, changing preferential matchmaking and then selling the preferential matchmaking tank the other day. That's what I've seen on like some servers. I think it was on the European server. And yeah, basically it's a whole mess, because I have the feeling that since World of Tanks is distributed over so many different places, like all the continents, there are servers all over the world. You have the Chinese server that is actually the most special server I think there is regarding World of Tanks content, and then you have like the Russian server that is like basically the biggest World of Tanks server, and obviously I think communications between these different branches hasn't been optimal in the last few years. It hasn't been optimal ever, in my opinion, because obviously when Russia is trying to do something, NA has to follow in its footsteps, because, well, it's their daughter company, but they don't have to follow it completely. The Chinese server, for example, well, the Chinese server doesn't have to do that, because the Chinese server is something very different from the NA server and the Russian server. And obviously this has led to a lot of frustration with the World of Tanks community, and I think it's fair to say that the preferential matchmaking thing has kind of been a big thorn in the eye for a lot of people, and I can totally understand why they're upset. Like, I'm excited to get an upgraded KV5 because I absolutely adored my KV5 when it was released and I bought it. It was such a cool tank, but the question now that I'm posing and I'm asking myself is, well, I mean, the KV5 was just not good enough against tier 8 tanks. Now it's going to be good enough against tier 8s, but when it's going to face tier 10s, basically, it's just not going to be good enough again against tier 8 tanks. So we have the same dilemma, just that this time around the general tank level has been raised. So people will be fighting tier 10s instead of tier 9s, but with better statistics that will not hold up against tier 10 tanks. And I can see why people are upset. I don't know how they're going to do it with the T26E4, how they're going to do it with like the Type 59. I think that thing is going to be, it's going to be super difficult to actually get the Type 59 all balanced out, because that tank is just, I don't know, it's a funny tank. I absolutely enjoyed playing the Type 59. I still enjoy playing it, but it's not going to be good enough to fight against tier 10 tanks. If they're going to, you know, if they're going to address the issues and try to fix the Type 59 to get it to be more competitive in tier 10 matches, it's going to be really weird. It's going to be a huge clusterfuck in my eyes right now. So yeah, obviously Wargaming haven't really... I have seen a few videos now from, who was it? The formerly known Agent Jedi, other content creators for World of Tanks. They have talked about the issue of preferential matchmaking, and I think it's very important that people do talk about these things, because they are happening and they are part of the game, and we shouldn't just give props to Wargaming. We should also be critical of their efforts, because we're paying a lot of money into this game. We're investing a lot of money, while at the same time they are kind of changing a lot of things very, very radically and drastically. So yeah, we have to see how they're going to be continuing on from this point on. I know a lot of people have been very frustrated. A lot of people don't want to have any more, or don't have any more trust in Wargaming. They haven't had any trust in Wargaming for quite a long time. But I think they have done a decent amount of work with regarding the current state of the game modes, changes to the graphics. The game looks better than ever before. I think balancing wise, it has been working out. Obviously, matchmaking always is going to be a problem since the tier difference hasn't been really addressed. There's still two tiers difference, and these tier 10 tanks fighting against tier 8s obviously doesn't help the cause one bit. So yeah, now we don't want to die right here. Oh, we bounced to 28. There's a M40-43 that's actually shooting us. Obviously, we are a very lightly armored tank destroyer. We should get out of here as soon as possible and get some distance between these guys over there and these guys over here. And once we get the artillery shells, we're gonna drop some audio on these guys, and we're gonna make a run for it. Let's see if we can. Do you think he's actually behind the rock? He might fall back just a bit more, and we might finish him off. No, actually, 523. That could be a average roll, maybe a bit higher. Nah, we're not gonna use that arty strike on that tag. That's just not worth it. That's a waste of shells. So yeah, current state of Wolf tanks, I think fairly decent. It's a good state. I think the game has never been in a goodest place as it is right now. I think it's very nicely refined. The fine-tuning has been very nicely done, and I think right now they have to concentrate on some of the biggest issues, as is matchmaking, because the people are getting frustrated with matchmaking. They have been getting frustrated with matchmaking for a long time. The constant adding of new premium tanks hasn't really benefited the general Wolf Tanks community either. I know I've bought a lot of these premium tanks. I know I am part of the problem as well. If we would just all stop buying these premium tanks, Wargaming would get the message, especially these overpowered premium tanks. But we kind of still buy them because they're a lot of fun, and they're, well, they're super strong. It's very easy to play the Skorpion G. It's very easy to have a good game in this vehicle without having to do that much, at least for my taste. I think the Skorpion G obviously is one of those vehicles that can do quite a lot of damage. Oh my, oh god, he just dodged that Brown. But obviously it also has its limitations. And you can see a tier 8 scout penetrates us and he rams us. He loses a lot of HP, and that is the very first time our tank gets knocked out. And now we are in a situation where we'll have to switch to a new tank, and we're going to pick the Lorraine 40T. The formerly tier 8 French, tier 9 French medium tank, now turned into a tier 8 premium tank, obviously. And it actually does fit very well into the game, at least as a tier 8 premium tank. I think it's just the right sweet spot where this tank should have been placed in as a tier 8 medium tank. It would have been great, like a standard tier 8 medium tank. But obviously I am not going to be that negative of this premium tank, because it's well, some would say it's overpowered. I would say it depends. In the hands of the right player, it's a real good machine, but in the hands of the wrong player, of an inexperienced player, it can really be very annoying and disappointing to play. Come on, give me a good hit. There we go. You just gotta love these autoloaders. When they added autoloaders back in the days, when was it? I think 2012, when they added the first autoloaders with the Frenchies. I was kind of skeptical, because like autoloading mechanic, it just sounded so crazy. It sounded like it was going to be a very unfair advantage for the French tanks, but it turns out that their balancing department actually did a good job. The AMX 50B and the 5120, they haven't been that amazing. They have gotten a buff like a few patches ago. That's actually already quite a while ago. But these tanks still are struggling with their counterparts, for example, the Swedish tanks that just have more armor, but basically the same concept. They're a little bit slower, but other than that, with the Swedish tanks, with the Swedish heavy tanks, you're actually quite well.
Our reinforcements have arrived.
Quite well situated. So there's the LTTB over there. And unfortunately, I'm lagging a little bit. We have to get out of here because we're gonna get fired from all different directions. And I'm lagging a little bit. That's not very good, but I guess we'll have to get used to it because of the obvious distance to the server that is situated somewhere in North America. And we're gonna see what we're gonna do because we have to take on these turrets, these big batteries. We haven't actually managed to take out one of them, but I'm gonna see. With this angle, I will not be able to pen it. I'll have to go over to the side of the turret, otherwise we will be in a stupid position where we actually won't be able to do any damage to that vehicle or to that turret. There is a T-44. We're just gonna unload on the T-44. It's really weird right now because there's something in our way and it's blocking our shot. Oh god, yeah, you can't shoot through that. That's so stupid. So yeah, that's my biggest problem that I have with Wolf tanks, at least for me personally. Obviously because of the distance that is between the United States of America and
heavy artillery is ready.
Switzerland. I am unable to perform very reliably on this connection on a lot of occasions. We're actually captain right now. I want to go for the general rank, but to be able to get general, we'll have to do more damage. We'll have to take out a couple of turrets. We'll have to be more aggressive and can't just stay in the back. But with the lag that we're currently facing, it's kind of difficult. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try as always. This is just gonna be a bit of a what do you call it? A handicap for us, but it should be alright. We should figure this out by ourselves. So there is the turret, our main objective. But now we're just gonna go ham on this Frenchie. And now we're gonna see if we can actually shoot the turrets too. From the side.
We have destroyed objective
because
3.
we still have one round left in our magazine. And after that, we will be clipping. We're very far in enemy territory right now, so. That obviously isn't as nice. As we can see right there, Skorpion just hit us, Skorpion G. We're gonna be reloading. There's the T-44 incoming. God. I have the feeling he's running towards us. Oh god, one more shot and we're toast. And there's the score. Actually, we just took out one turret. We have to take out 2 more turrets and we'll win this game. I'm just gonna spawn at E and I'm just gonna pick a tank that actually is rather fast. We're gonna go with the Progetto M35 Mod 46. Why not? play the Italians, get my crew a bit upgraded, and then we're gonna go after turret 2, because if we get turret 2, we're basically going to be able to win this match. Because we already have turret 5 almost knocked out, turret 4 is rather low, so yeah, turret 2 is going to be our main objective right now. We do have some tanks in the city that are posing a bit of a problem for our tanks, but we still have 6 minutes left. 6 minutes will be much more than enough time to actually take out those turrets. And I have to be honest, the way they dealt with this system, you know, with the additional time that you're getting, it's actually rather nice. It's very thought through, and that's what World of Tanks needs. World of Tanks needs more game modes, World of Tanks needs more maps. It needs a big fresh wind, you know, it needs fresh air, and that's basically what this game mode is all about. It gives us new content that's not just basically a tank that is reskinned as a premium vehicle, but that is actually, you know, something more than just that. So I don't really want to shoot that guy. We're just gonna see that we can turn around the corner. We're a major now, so at least we got that one going on for us. That's one more rank until we're going to be a general. We're probably not going to be the first one to reach general in this match. Maybe we're not even going to be able to reach general if we take out the objectives in the next couple of minutes, because we'll need to do a lot of damage to be able to get the general's badge. So yeah, that AMX is situated very nicely over there. We're not going to be able to do anything from the front to him. And at the same time, I'm also lagging rather badly. I'm glad that the beginning of the game didn't really pose that much of a problem for us, but it looks like the end of the game will be a rather annoying stretch of lag. And they have the same Skorpion G. Actually, it might not be the same, but there is still a Skorpion G somewhere in the back shooting at us.
Attack the last one.
We're gonna drop artillery.
Is ready.
Easy kill. We're gonna drop the audio right on the Skorpion G that's stuck over there. We're gonna see if we can actually get that. That would be hilarious if we get the kill on the Skorpion G. It's weird. I think they have done something. Oh crap! To the artillery, I just had to unload all of my shots because I was pretty damn sure. I was very certain that I'm going to die, and you can see that the Frenchie over there took me out of the game. And now we're gonna, I don't even know, we have to break through to one of the turrets, take out one more turret, and then we'll win the game. But I don't want to pick a tank. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go with the T-44, the good old Russian tier 8 medium tank that I loved to play back in the days, and that I still own in my garage up to this day. 2 marks of excellence. Haven't been able to get the 3rd mark of excellence on it yet. Wasn't really that interested in playing it ever since they released the buffs, to be fair. This tank now seems to be very, very powerful. It seems to be almost too overpowered, but yeah, it lacked the power the last few years. So I think, yeah, now it's maybe a bit too powerful, but yeah, I don't really bother with that. So it looks like we're going to destroy turret 1. And it seems to be a GG. We didn't really have any problems going through the entirety of the A, D, and A and D line. We broke through rather easily. A lot of people were firing heat or premium ammunition this time around, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. We still made quite a nice amount of profit, I think. So let's see, we have achieved the rank of a major, second highest rank that we could have achieved, and we've gotten an additional experience bonus by 100%, I think. 312,000 credits, total is 241,000 after getting all the repairs and stuff abducted, ammo cost, and you can just see it actually was a very, very nice game. 12,000 damage overall. We've dealt the most damage in both teams. Only 2 kills though, because we weren't that much into going into shooting, certain tanks, and we get the Supreme Gun once more. That's actually a reward that I have picked up several times now. I still need some awards. I still need to get the highest here, so level 30, and I still need to get Small Army destroyed 20 vehicles in one battle. So yeah, let's see that I get that, and I'll see if I can actually invite some people to help me on that mission. So we're gonna upgrade, I don't even know. Arty Strike and Airstrike are like the most important ones, so we're just gonna go with engineering as well. We don't have engineering equipped on any other of these tanks. And I think we're gonna keep the STG Guard. We're gonna be putting on some new tanks for the next round of Frontlines. Turn the crew. Unfortunately, we don't have any of the... Yeah, we're gonna do that another time. So, I hope you guys did enjoy this little video about yeah, all the things that are going on in Wolf Tanks right now. I hope you guys do enjoy the Frontline game mode. As always, I will see that I upload more stuff in the next coming days. Up until then, I hope you guys enjoy the up and coming weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.